Now let's talk about closed captions. Closed captions are a lot of work, but if you have the time or if you got help, then adding closed captions can be very fruitful. First, let's understand what are closed captions. You might have seen subtitles in movies, and if you've been to YouTube a lot, if you've been to some professional channels, you might have seen the little CC button, which is sometimes next to a video in the search results. And when you click on that video, you see a little square box on the bottom toolbar, and when you click on it, you see the subtitles for that video, for the dialogue in that video on screen. That is closed captions. So closed captions are the subtitles, and you have the option to enter the subtitles or the closed captions in any language you want. Now, I would recommend that you do that at least in English, which is of course the biggest market for YouTube. And one thing that I want to tell you, and which is I think a good reason to include closed captions, is that closed captions are indexed in YouTube search. So while they're not available to the external search engines like Bing or maybe Google, but they are indexed in search in YouTube. So all the text that you give YouTube in the closed captions is recorded by it and is made a part of the database. And when somebody searches for something which is a part of your closed captions, there is a pretty good chance that your video will be returned for that search term if that search term is not high competition. So because closed captions is a part of search and you want to be found, there is a very compelling argument to include closed captions in your videos. Now, I also want to tell you about another benefit of using closed captions. When you put in closed captions, YouTube will use the Google Translation API to make the translations of your text available to speakers of foreign languages. So if you put in closed captions in English, they might be potentially available to somebody who speaks Japanese or Spanish, and all they need to do is click a couple of buttons to see the translation in their language. Now this actually widens your market. It opens up new markets for you, and it's the second more compelling reason to include closed captions in your videos. So you might really want to consider it, and even if you have to hire external help, even if you have to hire a virtual assistant online, you might want to include closed captions. And if you got a ready script for your video, this could be very easy. All it takes is going to a website like captiontube.appspot.com or using a tool which you can download off the internet to create the SRT files which are required to create the closed captions for YouTube. So let's see a quick demo of how closed captions work in YouTube. So when you edit a video in YouTube, you will see a screen like this, and on the top you will see some options, info and settings, enhancements that you can do to the video like contrast and all, audio enhancements, annotations, we'll come to this in a later chapter, and the closed captions, the CC symbol. So click on that and you will see an option to allow adding a new track. You can upload a file, you can prepare an SRT file actually using another software external tool, and you can just upload it, or you can actually transcribe and sync text over here, which is I think more work. And I've already added a file over here, English, which you can see over here, and if you click on it, you will see each dialogue and the time code when it starts and ends. So this is how a closed caption file looks like, and after you've added closed captions to your video, the dialogues will be shown at the bottom of the screen here, right here, whenever this time, whenever the relevant time happens, right? So it's already showing, so as you can see over here. So this is a great way to get some new audience on YouTube. So just to remind you how to create a subtitle file or a SRT file for your YouTube video, you can use an online tool called CaptionTube, which is available at captiontube.appspot.com. CaptionTube is an excellent tool which will integrate with YouTube, and you can pick up any video on YouTube, make the subtitles, and update it from right within CaptionTube. I use CaptionTube a lot and I really recommend it. It's a great tool. Otherwise, if you are not happy with an online tool, you can get a subtitle creator online free of cost. There are a lot of freeware, excellent software available online. So just Google free subtitle creator and you will be able to find a lot of free software that will create the SRT files for your video. Right, so give either of these options a try and I'm sure you will find a tool which you are comfortable with.